All right, moving on, bringing up our Tennessee map now. Helene is now a tropical storm making its way through the area. So this is what it looks like in eastern parts of the state. You can see right there, Helene was a Category 4 hurricane when it made landfall over Florida's Big Bend last night. So it caused a lot of damages in places like Perry, which you can see here. And so far, at least 22 people have been killed as a result of the storm across several states. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis spoke earlier this morning and says first responders from all over are helping on the ground.
Search and rescue operations were conducted to help people that were in distress and transport them to safety. These missions continue, but we've had thousands of missions successfully completed in the overnight hours throughout the state. This is our local first responders. This is local in conjunction with state assets and state assets directly going in and effectuating rescues, and that's the National Guard, that's Florida Fish and Wildlife, that's all the assets we had available to help support these rescue efforts, and all the calls that any state officials responded to last night. We were able to find the person or people and pets and bring them to safety. And so that's a contrast from some of the things that we saw, for example, at Hurricane Helene. And now it's still early. They're going to have those folks who were responding to those calls. They're going to be doing broader search and rescue in those areas that did get hit with significant storm surge and see if there's any other problems or if there's any folks that are still left behind.
Our video feeds take you to some of those areas. You can see here what the governor was talking about. This is a water rescue in Citrus County, Florida. You can see the rescuers there just carrying one of the residents to safety out of all of the floodwaters there. Certainly a lot going on in this effort to help the people in the area there. Meteorologist Jessica Birch has been covering this. Jess, what do you know so far?
You know, millions of people right now in the south are without power. The death toll is now over 20, and we continue to keep a close eye all throughout Florida and throughout the south as the storm is still wreaking havoc over areas from Kentucky all the way over into Tennessee. Here's what's happening. This storm went under rapid intensification as it moved its way throughout the Gulf. It brought heavy rain and wind all throughout Florida, and here's where it's currently at as we head right now into the next 24 hours. Rapid intensification means that system hit some of the most warm sea surface temperatures on record down in the south, and that's what caused the storm to gain strength up to a Category 4 by the time it made landfall last night, devastating communities widespread throughout the south. Taking a look behind me, I want to dive into where it's at. It's now started to decay. Inevitably, that's going to happen as it moves its way over land, starting to weaken right now, but max sustained winds are still around 45 miles per hour as it continues to push north, now into communities anywhere from Tennessee all the way over into the Carolinas. As we head into the coming days, we're going to continue to monitor this, but you know, as we head into the next couple of days, the big concern has to do now with freshwater flooding all throughout those regions where heavy rainfall is still expected, and we continue to keep a close eye on what that's going to do for those regions as well.
Yeah, Jess, it's the days after especially that is hard, especially with the rescues as well. So we do have Ken Graham joining us now for more information on Helene, and he is the director of NOAA's National Weather Service. Ken, thanks for joining us. You have Jessica Birch and myself, Juliette Goodrich, here asking you some questions. First and foremost, this largest hurricane to hit the Big Bend region. Any indication of what to expect to come now?
You know, it's interesting. We're not done with this event yet. I mean, if you think about some of the storm surge areas that we had around Tampa up towards the Big Bend in Florida, it's an ongoing event. I mean, we're seeing all the hazards associated with these hurricanes take place. We had the storm surge, large storm. I mean, if you think about the size of the storm, we had tropical storm force winds out 350 miles. So there's places, Tampa Bay, think about more than 6 foot of storm surge 100 miles away from the center. So that's one of the hazards. Of course, we had the wind, especially around that eye wall. So incredible amount of damage and power outages, but ongoing flash flooding. Historically, these systems cause so much inland damage, and that threat continues for portions of western North Carolina and upstate South Carolina up into Tennessee. Just a dangerous situation when it comes to the water.
And the storm became a massive system in such a short amount of time. So how can people prepare for storms like this in the future?
It's interesting with the big storms. Most people think of these hurricanes, crossing the Atlantic and lots of notice. Every single storm, I look at the Cat 5, for example, the most powerful storms. Every one of those Cat 5s that have hit this country was a tropical storm or less 3 days out. So this one being a Cat 4 at landfall, 140 miles per hour, another one of those that don't give a lot of time. But I tell you, it was right on our forecast on Monday. Our very first forecast was only about 40 miles off from where it hit. That's staggering how far the science has come. The better the forecast, the more time we have to prepare for the hazards.
Yeah, thanks to all of our meteorologists. All right, Ken Graham, thank you so much for that information. So let's take you all there. CBS News national correspondent Dave Malkoff has been standing in water all day from Atlanta. And Dave, at one point, we saw that you were waist deep in water. Conditions changing now, but what's heading now as Helene is now moving north?
It is, Juliet, and the water has receded quite a bit here, but we're still in an ongoing situation that's happening right here as, we've got a sad update for you that Governor Brian Kemp just said that 11 people have been killed in this storm just here in Georgia. That puts it over 20 people throughout Georgia and Florida. So most of those deaths were south of us, but there's still a big problem here in the Atlanta area. Juliet, last time we talked like this, we were in Francine, and we had a wind event. Remember that that whole store was ripped apart. And this is now a flooding event from all the water that dumped on top of us here in Atlanta. This is the first time in a very, very long time that we had tropical storm force winds and a tropical storm itself coming on top of us in Atlanta, dumping all this water here. I just talked to a woman who lives over here, and her name is Selena. And she was, Julia, get this, she was sleeping in her bed, and she woke up and her mattress was floating in the bedroom. Naturally, what everyone would think is this is kind of a weird dream that I'm having right now, some kind of a nightmare. But then she came to and realized that this is real life, and she got out of her house, walked over there, and she's been out of the house until right now. Now she walks in and she's kind of mucking out everything inside of her house, trying to get all the water out of there, but it is still underwater here in Atlanta.
Yeah, Dave, that is the big concern now, cleaning all of that up, and you explained just what she woke up to. I'm curious, in that particular area, were people told or warned to clear out?
They didn't know that it was going to be this bad. They knew that there could be possibly some flooding happening here. We do have a creek, there's the Peachtree Creek that goes right through here. But they didn't know that not only was the Peachtree Creek on a swell, but then we'd have this huge fire hose of rain come on top of us. And at one point, this car was covered in water, Julia, to up to here, so you can see exactly how high the water got. Some of those, all those cars were underwater. There is, and you can't see it because of this black car right here, but there's a motor scooter that's back there that I didn't see until right now. There are people who have pulled their neighbors out of the apartments here. There's an 83-year-old man who lives right in this apartment right here, and his neighbor who lives above in the area that didn't get flooded, she pulled him up there, and he slept the night at his neighbor's house. We talked to at least 2 people who have done just that. And so it's neighbors helping neighbors. There have been ongoing rescues, not only from the Urban Search and Rescue Team, but from just people who have boats, Juliet, people in the neighborhood who have canoes and little boats, and they've been going back and forth, shepherding pets and people and belongings back and forth. But now as the water is receding a little bit, people can kind of walk through this. But this is a very serious situation here in Atlanta and in Georgia, where we have 11 people who are dead. We've got down power lines, down trees, roads that are blocked, and entire neighborhoods that are underwater.
Yeah, you do see the heart of the area as people are helping people. Dave, I appreciate you giving that walkthrough with us. Thank you so much. Let's now take you to other parts. Our video feed showing you it's not just Georgia. So take a look at this. This is Sarasota. This is from above. You can see just the street and all of the flooding in that area. Obviously, people cleared out and the flooding just happening moments ago, 7:41 a.m. This is our video feeds showing you that from the Sarasota Police Department camera. And about 90 miles away from there, this aerial shot, it gives you a view of the streets in Treasure Island. What a mucky mess that is. The cleanup will continue for some time. And then take a look at the streets that are flooded in Citrus County. We actually caught a person that was going through the waters with a kayak. Sometimes we see that during these situations. Our video feeds also caught damage in South Carolina. We take you there. 2 people are fortunately safe now, but look at this. Their home was right in the middle of this tree that fell right on top of the home, and the people inside are okay. We're happy to report that. And as expected, Helene's damage is leaving a lot of people without power right now, big time. So this map shows you millions across the southeast that are just in the dark, and over 1 million customers are also hoping to get their lights back on soon in Florida. So you can see here, a majority of those are in the Big Bend area where Helene made landfall. Okay, here is a view of where the outages are just north of that in Georgia. Also, 1 million customers without power.